Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be making crafts from a vintage bedspread that I found in my husband's grandmother's old trunk. It had a few spots on it, so I cut those out. So I'm going to see what I can make out of these. Join me. I'm going to try to make cushions, a set of bunny rabbits from a pattern that I had traced and cut out, and a wreath. Hopefully these will all come together. Let's get started. So what I'm going to do first is I found a spot on the bedspread that I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and pin my pattern on. Now I'm going to cut it out. This can be considered an Easter craft. Take off our pattern. Trim any edges. And it should look like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sewing machine that I have threaded with coordinating thread, top and bottom, and I'm going to sew around the rabbit, but leave the bottom open to stuff. Right sides out. Now, I'm going to get my fiber fill. I've sewn it shut. I want to maneuver it around. Now, let me find some ribbon. I found this ribbon that looks like spring, so I'm going to go ahead and tie this around his neck. Measure it out here. And I think I'll just double knot it. Trim it. And dovetail it. And there you have it. I think a couple of these would be beautiful in a bowl, a dough bowl, any other kind of, and just to sit around for Easter. Maybe put a little flower on him, maybe even attach an eye. But I like mine just like this. Another idea that I come up with is I cut out 2 pieces of the bedspread, same size. We'll make a cushion. And I cut out 2 strips of fabric that I'm going to place like this. I also have this trim that came off of it as well. So first, let's press our 2 pieces that are going to be the center. Press out the fold, iron it out. Now, I marked the center of this one. Now, I'm going to take my strip, match up center to center, pin that down, center to center, pin that down, do the other one. So it looks like this. Okay. Now, I'm going to take these 2 pieces and I'm going to stitch them on. You need to do both sides on both pieces. Okay, so it looks like this. Now I'm going to remove my pins. Now I'm going to take my trim that I have, that I had taken off of the old bedspread, and I'm going to sandwich it between the 2 pieces. Give this a trim. I'm going to cut it right here at the edge. And I'm going to start another piece. Make sure you leave an opening on the bottom or on a side, somewhere that you can put the stuff in it. Fiberfill. Cut the last piece, tuck it in, finish pinning. Let's sew it. Start, back stitch, and back stitch. Remove all the pins. Cut into the corners. Don't cut the corners, but cut across the corners so it will lay flat. Turn easier. Do not cut the stitching. Cut across. Now, let's turn it. Sure all the corners are turned. Now, this is what it should look like. Now what I'm going to do, this is just what I'm going to do. Take me some red. This is just so it won't fall down into it. I'm going to whip stitch close to the edge the trim to the back side of the cushion, just so it won't slip and it'll be easier to sew. This is going to be just some recycle that I had, so it's going to be different kinds. So put it in. I try to recycle as much as I can. I went ahead and got it stuffed. Now I'm going to whip stitch it closed. Fold it under. And just start doing a whip stitch. Just like this. I'm going to finish sewing this closed. For this next project, I'm going to show you how to make this wreath out of the old bedspread. What I did was I got my ruler. These need to be 8 inches long. So let's measure down 8 inches. Mark. Cut it and whip. Then we need them to be about the width of a ruler. We'll cut out about 12 of these. I have a whole pile sitting over here to the side. Let's just finish making them out to here. Better to have too many than not enough. Right, now I'm going to cut each line. And I'm going to tear these. You will end up with a lot of strings. Just take those off. Now that I have those ripped, I've left one section here that I am going to go ahead and do, making sure all of the strings are up. Now, take off any excess string. I'm going to start at the top one, the top wire. Tie one knot, and only only 1 knot, because 2 knots will make it too bulky. Keep tying it until you fill it in. Mine used about 70 strings per section, and there's 6 sections. Pushing it and making it tight. So as to get good coverage. This one won't require any paint, any glue, any hardware, just a hoop and some strings. Now, let's start the second row. Pull everything to the side. And start tying again. Get these strings. Mine has 4 rows. Some may have less than this, so you won't have to cut as many strings. I don't think this is chenille. I think this is just textured. I have a chenille one. There's no way that I would dare cut it up. Two more rows to do. I'm gonna finish these and I'll get back. All tied on, I'm gonna go ahead and cut off some of these stray strings that are sticking out. Kind of fluff it as I go. So that's it for today, my crafty crew. I hope you enjoyed these 3 crafts that I presented to you today. These were free to me because I found these in my husband's grandparents' attic in an old trunk, this bedspread. It was stained. It was beyond reusing as a bedspread, so I thought what better use to take something that was his family and make it over into something else, to repurpose this. So if you have any old quilts, any old blankets, any old bedspreads, try to see what you can make out of them. Don't toss them. Even if it's just a piece of fabric, see what you can make out of it. I'm sure your loved ones will appreciate it. Well, until next time, have a good day. Bye.